Welcome back to Henry's Garage, or if it's the first visit, welcome. So, in this episode, we're going to look at fixing this frame back on, this fender back on. And we have a few bits that work well, a few that don't. This channel is not a how-to, this is just an amateur mechanic having a go at it, making mistakes, getting some things right. And learning as he goes. So if that's what you're after, please enjoy. I think I've been talking about it for about 2 weeks now, but today is the day we fix this wing back on. So it all fitted on quite nicely before, so I'm not too worried about that. What we're going to do is, I had to bend this a bit, which has caused this to come away. So we're going to just go along here and put in a few welds on the flange to make sure that's okay. We're then going to do spot weld holes across here and spot weld across here, and we're going to give this a little trim, a little grind to flatten it off. And then we're going to fit it all and clamp it in place and get everything lined up and then weld. I thought I'd just get some direct rust on there before I painted, get it on whilst it's easy. Then over here I've been just patching up the holes from underneath, so that should be secure. I'm now going to grind this down and I'll get it on time lapse. Okay, so it's clamped on. I could really use a dozen more clamps for this, but I don't have those, so we won't. So this does look better down here, although obviously not perfect. The clamps around the wheel arch are just pulling it all together, and so we going to get a little bit of twist in there, I think, from that. Across the top here, when we squeeze it in with a little bit of a hammer, these should come together. Unfortunately, at this end it looks like I might have a gap here where my flange isn't big enough below, or maybe I'm just a long way off and it's gonna, I can see actually I've got a bit of a gap here, better back there, better here, but this bit in the middle is a bit gappy. We've got a reasonable connection here, and it's nice and tight at the bottom down there. So I just need to think about how I want to go about welding this and where I start, and then get started. Okay, I went out and bought some clamps, so 2 packs of 3 were £19, and I figure for £19 that's nothing, because these things are always useful. And to be honest, if I'm gonna struggle with this, it's not because I've got not enough clamps, it's going to be because I'm not good enough, and that's better reason at that price. So we're going to fix those on, and then I think we're probably going to start welding in there. Okay, so I've welded it inside and it's held, but I'm not sure how happy I am. I think I probably should have started at the top and worked down in both ways. You can see I've pulled a bit of a divot in there from squeezing it together, and the same here I have, and then the whole way along that inner thing is a bit squeezed in places, so that's okay. I mean, I think it's good enough that it'll look okay. It's just not quite as good as I had hoped. So, but we got that bit done. I've noticed that this has come just undone a little bit here, so I want to just try tightening that up again. And since we've started on the bottom, I think the next thing we'll do is that bit down there. But I believe it's about time for the Monaco Grand Prix, so we're going to stop for a bit and we'll come back to it afterwards. Okay, actually the Grand Prix isn't for another hour, so it starts about an hour 20 minutes, so I shall keep going for a bit. And I'm sitting down, so we're going to do this up here a bit. Now I'm a little bit worried about this because it seems to have risen up a bit since when I last fitted it, so welding and all this appears to have lifted this up a touch, and so we'll see how it goes. I thought I could speed it along using the air hammer. Wasn't paying enough attention. Look at that, I managed to go underneath. Oh dear. Right. Right, it's in after a fashion. So this is straight, which is the good bit. From here down, my two flanges weren't meeting up, so I didn't make this one big enough on the inside. So I just welded along the seam instead. I'm going to have to do something about the holes. And then the same at the top. I had the same issue. So, and I put the top there where those clamps, I want to put in a couple of plug welds, which I'm going to come out from that side. So I'm going to have to work out how to come along and fill these, which I don't know what I'll do, but I'm going to have to work that out. And I still got to weld just down here, and I still got to weld that corner down there, but it is now time for me to go in to watch the motor racing, so we'll do that either later today or tomorrow. Okay, that's on. I've again got my problem with this channel here, same as the other side. I've got to work out how I'm going to make those look, well, it doesn't have to be pretty, but just usable. And I'm thinking I need to have a look at the bonnet, and if it has a lip on it. I don't think it does actually. No, it doesn't, see? It's just a straight edge. So what I think I might do along here, to be honest, is quite a lot of filler. And because I don't know how I'm going to fill all of these. I suppose I could try to get some copper behind and do that at this end. And I do have a hole here, so I could get some of these, but I don't know. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that, but I'm fairly pleased with. This seems to have risen again. I don't quite understand why, but I think we should. We've got a little divot here, and underneath it's not completely straight, and I've got to go across everything and grind it, but that's another day. Actually, maybe it's better than I thought. I don't know. I was just so bored by the Monaco Grand Prix today. Oh, I think maybe they need to replace it with just get rid of it. It's just awful. It's so dull. Anyway, right. So we're going to stop for today, and we'll continue on the grinding and all of that kind of stuff tomorrow. I've ground down and re-welded everything, so it's all is looking okay. With some of it I've just said, well, I'm going to have to get filler on there anyway, so with some of this under the wheel arch I've not weighed too much. In here I've gone along and I've filled up, because this is good metal. Ouch, this is hot still. Well, because this was all good metal, I've just gone along and filled that up with weld along there. Now what I think I'm going to try, and I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm going to lay the bonnet on it first just to make sure everything fits, although I don't know what I'll do if it doesn't, but I'm going to lay the bonnet on it. And then what I think I'm going to do in here is I'm going to put a great slab of filler in. Because the bonnet just lies on top, so you know the filler hopefully will give it at least some representation of presentable. Anyway, so we'll have a little look. We'll try the bonnet and then we'll see. Oh dear. Okay, so what I've done is I've put the bonnet on, and just to have it all roughly the same place, I've just stuck this in here to try to get the distance, this gap the same. So if I look along this line, that's actually not too bad. The bonnet seems to come up a bit, but you know, that's about getting it in place, I think. So I think we can probably do something about this side. The other side though, we've got a big gap which comes down to virtually nothing. Well, I mean absolutely nothing here, so I do have a problem with this wing in that it should be that much further in, and it's not, and that's because I put the wing on too late. No, I put the bonnet on too late to test I had the wing fitted properly. Sugar. Okay, so I can't do anything about that now. I'm not taking it all off and having another go at that because it's so much welding in there. Live and learn. What we will do is we'll grind this down here, so at least we get a bit of a gap. Okay, so we've got a gap the whole way, and then it's just going to be a bit too much here, and it looks like it's going to be a bit too high here as well. But I might be able to do something about that, because that is probably because it's resting. Yeah, you see, so I can probably lift it the whole way along. So that will be because it's resting on metal in here, and so I should be able to. So it's resting on that. Oh, let's take it off. Okay, I'm back. So it's sitting low along here, and that's because the bonnet is resting on this. Okay. And this clearly needs to be just a touch higher. So, and actually possibly even a touch lower at this bit here. So in terms of the higher, I think we'll deal with that with rubber. Okay. When it comes to, you know, we'll put a strip of rubber or something, and we'll somehow lift it at the time. We won't worry about that now, but we will do some grinding on this to get this back. That's what we'll do. Right, so I've ground this down. I could do a bit more actually, but so that'll be okay. So I didn't mean to push that back. Okay. This corner, when it's held down, will stay there nicely. This side is still okay, and I just, to see what I needed in here, I just put this strip of metal in, and let's see if I can take it out one-handed. Well, there we go. You can see here. So I just laid this on top of the rail there to see what thickness I needed. I basically need to raise it by about that amount, whatever that is. And with that, and then I actually get a decent there you can see. All right, so you can see it that way. That's how much it needs to be raised. And it is, if I just get something on that rail, that will do it. So I've got to think about how to do that. And any thoughts would be most welcome. Okay, I have here some brushable seam sealer. And I have a brush. And we're going to try applying that along here, just to try to get this nice and smooth-ish looking. Okay, not perfect, but that's a lot better than it was. I'm actually going to do the top corner there as well now. And then because actually that's not too bad, it does look better, I'm going to apply the same on this side whilst I've got it out. Okay, so knowing what I've got to do to raise this, I'm going to call this video done. I haven't decided how I'm going to raise it, but I know roughly what I need. So we're going to stop here. I'm quite pleased with it, to be honest. I'll probably get a bit of undercoat on there. The next episode is going to be on that there bit. If I can get some light on it. Okay, so it's the windscreen frame, and just there it needs fixing. So we'll have to take off the trim, and I'll have to work out how I'm going to cut that out and get it, and I just feel that this actually needs to be done really well, which is why I've left it to last. It's where the frame overlaps, and so there's actually an inner and an outer bit that need doing. So yeah, so that's the next episode. We'll have to clean up and turn the car around to do it. Yeah, that's it.